again. It's a rich thing.
Hello guys, today in this video, we are going to help you to find out the best budget phones in market. I made this list based on my personal opinion and I tried to list them based on their quality, durability, customer review and more. If you want to see their price and find out more information about them, you can check our links in the description below. Number 10. T-Mobile Rebel 6 Pro 5G. When you're on a limited smartphone budget, your purchase always comes down to compromises. You're not likely to get everything you want for less than $300, so finding a phone that fits your main priorities is key. For plenty of shoppers, the T-Mobile exclusive REVVL 6 Pro might be just what the doctor ordered. With a massive 6.82-inch display, ultra-long battery life, and a Dimensity 700 SoC, this is a device built to stick with you no matter what life throws at you, albeit without the perks and quality of life improvements you'll find in more expensive smartphones. Performance from MediaTek's chipset is solid enough for typical usage and some light gaming, and that gigantic 5000 mAh battery lasts for more than a full day on a single charge. Number 9. Samsung Galaxy A03s. Samsung's gotten its budget phones down to a science. As such, the Galaxy A03s isn't a whole lot different from the Galaxy A02s that came before it. It's still got a 720p LCD display at 60Hz, it's still got the same set of not very good cameras, and it's still running an older version of Android. But there are a few notable differences. Chiefly, while the Galaxy A02s had no fingerprint sensor, the A03s has one built into its power button, which means getting into the phone is less of a hassle. It's also got 3 GB of RAM. That's still not much, but it's a big bump from the 2 GB in the A02s. Samsung also switched from a low-end Snapdragon chipset to a low-end MediaTek one. That probably won't matter much for performance, though, and Samsung's still promising 4 years of quarterly security updates from the phone's US launch, which means it should stay secure into 2026. If you already have an A02s, the A03s probably isn't worth upgrading to. Number 8. Xiaomi Poco X3 NFC. Xiaomi's Poco X3 NFC is astonishing value for money. You're getting a heck of a lot for relatively little cash with the Poco X3 NFC, punching through the budget boundaries in terms of screen quality, cameras, and overall performance. Its name might be a bit of a mouthful, but the feature-rich Xiaomi Poco X3 NFC exceeds expectations in pretty much all areas. With a speedy Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G processor, it's faster than most of its peers, and the quadruple camera array, which includes a massive 64MP main sensor, even manages to give high-cost flagships a run for their money. Not to mention that the large 6.67 inches FHD Plus display also has a maximum refresh rate of 120 Hz, which is still a bit of a rarity at this price. With flagship-class specifications at an alarmingly low price, if you love a bargain, then this is as good as it gets. Number 7. Nokia C21 Plus. A 100-pound smartphone used to bring about negative connotations, but the Nokia C21 Plus is far better than its bargain price suggests. Running a specially tweaked version of Android that caters to low-powered devices, the Nokia C21 Plus exceeds all expectations for a phone so cheap. Despite the comparatively weak hardware, it only has 2 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage, it runs surprisingly well and has a bright IPS display with a camera that isn't half bad for the price. Its sturdy build materials and compact design should help it last the test of time, and the battery life lasted long enough in our tests as well. It may be lacking when it comes to raw processing speeds, and there are far better alternatives if your buying budget can stretch beyond £100, but when it comes down to sheer affordability, the Nokia C21 Plus is the undisputed champion. Number 6. Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro. The Redmi Note 10 Pro is essentially an upgraded Poco X3 NFC, with a nicer display and better camera. The 6.67 inches 120Hz panel boasts AMOLED tech, meaning superb contrast and vibrant colors. The 108MP lead camera, meanwhile, excels and comes accompanied by a pair of secondary snappers that exceed expectation. Fun extras like 33W fast charging, a headphone jack and even an IR blaster elevate the Redmi Note 10 Pro from a good to a great budget offering, considering what Xiaomi's incorporated here. Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro 128GB 6GB RAM factory unlocked, GSM only and OCDMA not compatible with Verizon/Sprint, international version gray. The Redmi Note 10 Pro has a 6.7-inch AMOLED screen, a Snapdragon 732G chipset, stereo speakers, for rear cameras, a long-lasting battery, and a fast charger inside the box. Plus it has a zippy 120Hz display, which is the same refresh rate seen in top-of-the-line models. Number 5. OnePlus Nord N200 5G. The OnePlus Nord N200 5G is easily the most affordable 5G phone that we've seen so far at just $240. The phone boasts a premium look that holds up to phones that sell for 2-3x as much. This is the best sub-$250 phone I've used, all things considered. I am still blown away by the fit and finish OnePlus delivered in a phone this cheap, but of course there are some trade-offs to hit that price point. The camera is my biggest complaint. If photos and videos are a major concern for you with your phone, then the Nord N200's cameras fall flat. It's always possible for OnePlus to improve the software, but don't buy the phone counting on that happening. Software support is my other major critique. It's a budget phone, but you only get one software update, which is arriving within a few months of this phone launching. That's unacceptable even at this price point. If you can look past those two flaws, this is an otherwise fantastic phone. If you want a premium-looking phone without spending a premium price, then this belongs on your shortlist. Number 4. Moto G Stylus 5G 2021. If the Moto G Power caught your attention but seemed to be lacking anything that made it truly stand out, then Motorola has another budget phone that may be of more interest to you. For $400, the Moto G Stylus 5G adds a stylus, 5G, 6GB of RAM and an impressive 256GB of base storage to the mix. While a stylus isn't something that everyone is clamoring for on a phone, Note owners would tell you it's an awesome addition. On removing the stylus from the body of the smartphone, Motorola's proprietary sketching software opens up, allowing you to jot, sketch, or doodle without delay. While the original $400 price point was a bit tough to swallow, you can find it for less than $350 now, and that's an excellent value for this unique budget offering. With a 48MP main sensor and quad-pixel technology, the Moto G Stylus 5G delivers 4x the low-light sensitivity. So whenever you're shooting in less than perfect light, you get sharper and brighter 12MP photos. 2 days of battery life. Number 3. Samsung Galaxy A53 5G. The Samsung Galaxy A53 5G is cursed with strong competition at its roughly $450 price point. It offers an excellent 120Hz display, an impressive 4 years of OS and security updates, and a modern design that doesn't look out of place next to Samsung's flagships. The Galaxy A53 also boasts a bevy of cameras, but of the 4 lenses on the back you will only care about the wide-angle and ultra-wide, and they come up significantly shy of the results you get from the Pixel 6a. Performance is the biggest downfall for the Galaxy A53. The iPhone SE 2022 naturally blows it out of the water with its industry-leading A15 chip, but even the Pixel 6a's Tensor chip leaves the A53 in the dust. While I try to stick to the retail pricing looking at these phones, I'd be remiss to ignore the fact that the Galaxy A53 is often available for closer to $350, which may tip the scales for you. Number 2. Moto G Power. Motorola's primary selling point of the Moto G Power is its claimed 3-day battery life. Motorola even says that with one charge you'll be able to stream 150 hours worth of music, and most battery tests I've come across manage to squeeze somewhere between 16 to 18 hours out of the Moto G Power's 5000 mAh battery with in-house testing. The Moto G Power is priced at $249.99, and if you're looking for a budget buy that you can rely on to hold a charge, very few smartphones come close to the same endurance on offer here, let alone budget smartphones. While the battery is a crowning feature for this device, you may find that the rest of the Moto G Power's offerings are not a standout affair. The internal 64GB of storage is lower than most in the same price category, and the Snapdragon 665 CPU with 4GB of RAM isn't exactly going to stand out as a powerhouse against the competition either. Number 1. iPhone SE 2022. Apple's latest iPhone SE makes one major hardware update to the iPhone SE 2020, with the leap to the same A15 Bionic chipset found in the iPhone 13. It makes multitasking and mobile gaming a breeze on its bright and colorful 4.7-inch Retina display. It's not the only premium feature that was transplanted over from other premium devices, with the SE able to use wireless charging and retaining the signature iPhone glass and metal design. However, the SE's camera remains its downfall, at least on paper. We know the brains of the iPhone 13 managed to make the jump to the SE, but the eyes didn't. While the 12MP rear camera is fine, that's about all it is. The SE's powerful SoC will attempt to boost that relatively weak camera with enhanced computational photography prowess, but we'll need to see it in practice.